Pleasure to have my next guest back on the show. It's the Maniac, Marcus McGhee, who will be back in action on January the 13th at UFC Vegas 84 when he faces Gaston Bolanos. Marcus, how are you, sir?
I'm doing great. Another fantastic day. Woke up with breath in my lungs, so let's get it.
Absolutely. I want to first start with your Thanksgiving because it's just right in the rear view mirror of us now. And I have to imagine with you being such a phenomenal cook that your family ate well. So just tell me how Thanksgiving was. What did you guys get into?
Yeah, everything for Thanksgiving. My grandparents had it over there, so they had the good old mac and cheese. Can never go wrong with that. Turkey. They had some ham, some banana pudding, some yams. The whole some gumbo, the whole nine. I didn't go too crazy. Just making sure we're keeping things right, but I did enjoy myself.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the fight's still a ways out, so I have to imagine you'd be able to kind of eat what you want and get away with it. Just have like an extra hard training session the next day, right?
Yeah, definitely. I was definitely able to eat more than I've been able to eat in the last few years. So I was definitely happy about that. I got two plates.
Good for you. Good for you. Tell me about how everything's going with your Munchies cooking show that you do. It's a really cool show. I mean, I've actually given my wife some ideas on some things that she can do. So tell me how that's evolving.
Yeah, it's been cool. It's been cool. We're definitely getting better and better with it. Content wise, making some cool adjustments there. And it's been a lot of fun. So everything's been going good with that. We're gonna be finishing up season 1. And I'm just looking to keep going with season 2, make it a little bit more creative, better meals, maybe get some content or some good input and some collaborations going. So yeah, definitely looking forward to it just growing. It's been a lot of fun. So and we're definitely getting better at it. So I've been enjoying that too.
Yeah, you mentioned collaborations. That was actually something that came to my mind about, maybe other UFC fighters and bringing them on. Like, is that something that you've thought about?
Yeah, definitely. And a couple of different other athletes I hang out with too. So we'll definitely be jumping into more of that going into season 2 as well. And then, yeah, just trying to get into some more extravagant meals, maybe things that I haven't done, things that I don't really know much about. And then kind of get back out there with our social community, see what they think, and maybe incorporate some of their comments as well.
Very cool. Excuse me. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing what is next for you, my man. One other topic that is not MMA related, I wanted to ask you about before we dive into your career, which is going fantastic, and that's this the skateboarding hobby that you have. I see that you have a ramp in your backyard. I mean, that's kind of a dangerous thing to do, right? Like, have you ever thought about, geez, I don't want to hurt myself and prevent myself from fighting in the octagon?
Yeah, no, 100%. That goes into my thought all the time. So I don't go as crazy as I would have gone in the past, basically just me getting more comfortable on the board again, getting back to my basics, blunt to fakies, blunt to rock to fakies, front tail slides, just all the stuff that I have in my bag of tricks that I know I have consistently, and then getting more consistent on those as time goes too. And skateboarding was my first love, it was long before I was a fighter. Professionally or amateur wise, I was skateboarding. So it was always something that was extremely important to me. And it was always part of my bucket list to have a skate ramp in the backyard. And my buddy Brad ended up needing to get rid of his ramp. So I had a yard for it. So now we have it.
Very cool. Have you ever skated with Tony Hawk before?
So not Tony Hawk, but I skated with Bon Burnquist. I skated with Rune Glifberg. I skated with Andy McDonald. And a bunch of other guys I've definitely skated with, Benji Galloway, Omar Hassan. So I definitely back in the day was skating with a lot of those guys. Then a lot of locals, Aaron Hamoki, Nick Freeney, a lot of those guys. So yeah, I've definitely been around the scene for a while.
Okay, very cool. Well, it looks like you've got some serious skills just based on the video that you shared on Instagram. So looking forward to maybe you sharing some more down the line. Now, Marcus, the last time that we did see you in action was all the way back in August. It's the big win over JP Bays. We did speak prior to or after that fight. Has life just been in the gym, training, getting better since then? Have you been doing anything else other than, family life and working out in the gym?
Yeah, but other than my, cooking show and my podcast, a lot of it's just been focusing on getting better. It's been nice to have that little bit of time to get better. I was trying to come back November, but that ended up not working out. So October, January is when we're coming back. So yeah, just been focused on getting better in the areas that I can, and working, slowly but surely changing and growing as time goes. So yeah, nothing's really changed other than that, other than the fact that my focus has just been family and training and building my social platforms.
For sure. Now, in November, you said you wanted to get back in there. Then, did you have an opponent, or were you trying to zero in on someone in particular?
Not anybody in particular. I just wanted to get in November. I wanted to get one more before the year ended. Because I fought last November too. So if I would have fought before November, it would have been a total of 5 fights in a year. So I kind of like wanted to hit that goal, but it just didn't end up working out. The only opponent that I could have gotten, I forget the name, but the only person I could have got was a short notice on like the 18th, and my sister-in-law was getting married on the 17th. So there was no way I was getting out of that one.
Okay, yeah, I understand that 100%. Tell me what things have been like at the lab. Obviously, you got a bunch of killers around you day in and day out. Who have you been getting working so as far as this camp goes?
Yeah, all the same guys, Kyler Phillips, Mario Bautista, Abdul Kamara, Beche, Coyote, Ezra Elliott, a lot of guys. I've been definitely putting in a lot of work with these guys, and just grinding, and Randy Stanky, obviously my striking coach, John Crouch, my jiu-jitsu coach. So just been grinding it out, fixing different things that we can fix and getting better at different areas.
Tell me how you see that fight between Mario and Ricky Simone going. Obviously, I mean, you're going to pick Batista. That's your guy, but I mean, objectively, when you look at, what do you think we're going to see in that fight?
Well, I think obviously I'm going with Mario, and I know he has the tools to get the job done. But Simone is very skilled and tough fighter, been around for a long time. It's a tough task, it's the UFC, so everybody's got a hard fight on their hands. I do see Mario getting it done. I do see Mario getting the finish as well. I think Mario does have a skill set that I think Ricky Simone's will play heavily into. I think he has the range. I think he has the timing. And then I do think he has the grappling prowess. I know Ricky has great wrestling, but so does Mario. And Mario's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. So if it does end up down there, I see Mario getting ahead. And I do think he has the crispier hands as well. So I do think it's going to be a great fight, but I do see Mario getting out there and getting the finish.
Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me at all. Mario's a stud. Tell me, has Sugar Sean been around the gym much?
I haven't seen him as much. He came around after with the belt for a little while, but he's been handling business and doing his own thing. He's got a gym out here too, so he's definitely been doing his thing and just trying to get his social out there. So I haven't ran into him for sure. I know he's about to be getting into camp soon, so I'm sure I'll be seeing a whole lot more of him here in the recent days.
What do you think we're going to see with that rematch with Cheeto? I guess it's in March, the title fight.
Yeah, I think you're gonna see Suge open up a little bit more. I think Suge has built up a lot of confidence in the time since he did lose against Cheeto. I do think that it was a big the calf kick that ended up to getting injured played a very big part in it. I think Suge keeps his head on him, doesn't let any of those injuries happen, and I do think Suge should be able to take that as well. Uh, I know Cheeto's very tough. I know Cheeto's been around forever too. What, 2011? I think he got into the UFC. Has had great performances. Is a great, solid fighter in every single aspect. So I don't see it be an easy task. But I didn't think Aljo would be an easy task for him either. I don't think we look at any of these guys as easy, right? It's all going to be tough. It's all going to be hard. But we put in the work, and I think the results will play for themselves.
Who do you think will be the toughest task for Sean in there? Is it Marab?
I think so. I think that's because Marab is a big challenge for everybody. I do think Marab gets finished as well, though. I think he gets outstruck. I don't know if that same type of Suge can slow down that pace, right? He has the range. He can really control that range distance and make it very hard for Marab to get in there. So even though I do think Marab is a tough challenge for him, I do think Suge has the tools to be able to deal with him too. But I would say, yeah, Marab has a good chance at it as well. And who is it, Umar Nurmagomedov
Oh
too?
yeah.
He's coming up as well. He's got work to do, obviously, to get there as well. But he's another tough adversary coming up that shows a lot of prowess as well. So honestly, on any given day, I think everybody's got a shot. And I believe in Suge and I believe in my team, and I'm always rooting for them. But this is the fight game. This is what we do, and I really do think that these guys are tough. And on any given night, any one of us could beat any one of us.
Yeah. I mean, and you're in there mixing it up with these guys at the top of the division, day in and day out. How far away are you, man? Like, do you feel like, you're a couple fights away, you get some big wins and we could see you in the top 15 competing?
Why not me? I always say, right? Why not me too? You know what? Like, what about me would make me not in that bracket? And I believe so. Yes. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of trials and tribulations to get there. But I do believe that I will be there. I do believe I'll be there. And again, I'm not rushing anything. All God's timing. I'll put in the work. I'll be here. I'll be mindful of where I'm at, and humble, and use all that humility as I can to be where I am and be present. But yeah, I do see that for myself. I being in the top 15, going all the way, and it's just work, right? It's just work day in and day out. Take the next best step.
100%. As you should think that. Let's talk about your upcoming fight, shall we? UFC Vegas 84, January the 13th. This is your third straight fight at the Apex. Is that disappointing? Were you kind of hoping to, maybe be in a big arena with screaming fans?
Yeah, but it's not disappointing at all. Like, honestly, it hasn't really bothered me one bit. I'm fine with going back to the Apex. I do think it's a banging fight, and a crowd would enjoy this fight for sure. But at the same time, they're going to enjoy it on TV as well. And anybody in the Apex will appreciate it as well. So I'm still excited about it. I'm still excited about the challenge, still excited about being in the Apex. I always enjoyed being in the Apex. So yeah, no hurt feelings to me. We'll go out here, we'll do our job, and God willing, we do our job to the best of our ability and show out like we have been doing. And, we'll go into an arena after that.
Your opponent, Gaston, he's had one fight in the UFC. It was a UD win over Aaron Phillips. Were you impressed by his performance? What do you see when you look at tape of this guy?
I see a striker. I definitely believe that he's more of a striker. He uses defensive wrestling, defensive jiu-jitsu. He doesn't really want to be on the ground. And yeah, I'm impressed by all these guys. All these guys are tough. I've been watching Gaston since he was in Bellator as well. So his spinning elbow knockouts, or a lot of his elbow combinations that he throws. Him over that CSA. And I've always been impressed by him for sure. And I'm one of those guys that, like, I don't take anybody for granted. Gaston is a very tough, durable, strong, great fighter. And I'm gonna take all the tools and all the weapons I have, and I'm gonna go figure that puzzle out.
Do you anticipate this to be a close fight that goes deep into the rounds, or do you think you're going to get another quick finish for yourself?
So it's so funny. I never ever go out there thinking I'm gonna quick finish these guys. I plan to. I'm absolutely planning to go out there and finish Gaston the moment that he gives me a chance. Right. That being said, I'm there for 17 minutes of a fight. That's my mentality, is that we're gonna fight for 17 minutes. It's gonna be the toughest fight of my life, and the next fight's always the toughest fight, right? So I'm gonna prepare likewise. I'm gonna prepare for it to be 3 rounds of war. And then again, God willing, I go out there and I shine and I put this guy away in an emphatic way, and put a highlight on it, and then check that box and go on to what's next for me.
Okay, I love it. And I'm big on fighter walkout songs. Are you gonna mix things up here? This next walkout song. Can you give me like a little preview of maybe what you're gonna be walking down to?
God taught me. That's a preview for you. But that's one of the ones my daughter and me have been banging out to. It's from Zante. Really good. He's the Christian rapper, but he's more of what's it called? Relationship type of spiritual guy, and he has really good music out right now, and I've been really liking him. I walked out to Hard Work God First by him, my last fight. And yeah, so I have a couple different songs. I definitely want to do everything I can with my platform to also show that I'm a God-fearing, Jesus-loving father, who wants to make sure that God is at the center of everything that I'm doing, and obviously I'm not perfect and I'm not anywhere near, I sin every single day, but through his grace, I have been able to do the things I've been able to do, and it's only through him. So I want to keep on with that, and I want to keep on praising his name in the best way I can, which I think is authentic to me, to who I am. So that's one of the main things I've been enjoying with my walkout songs. So probably something along that line, just to key me in and remember, like, what it's all about,
Okay, I love it. Are you familiar with the Jeremiah 29:11?
Not right off the top of my head, no.
Okay, I was just going to ask, if you had any thoughts about that's the scripture and its meaning. And it's basically for what it like means to me, and it kind of helps keep me in line. Is basically that whatever plans you think you have, God's plan is what you need to abide by and understand that He's got you. And so that's always just kind of resonated with me, because I've always been wanting to accomplish X, Y, and Z by a certain age. And if it doesn't happen, sometimes you can kind of like get in your own head or whatnot. So I really like that, Jeremiah 29:11, and I try and remember that whenever I get kind of low.
You know what? And that's like, I haven't got to Jeremiah because I'm rereading the Bible right now. I read it when I was really young, and now just going back to it, going back to the scripture and understanding things as an adult is something to focus on. I'm in Samuel 2 right now. It's crazy, like just getting back to reading and getting my way through it, But that's the type of, like, when I pray and any type of prayer I have, and that's basically my thing. Like, whatever I want, as long as it's on your timing, it's not about it's
Mhm.
not about what I want. That, yes, I want to do all these things, I'm trying to achieve all these things, but in all reality, I couldn't have wrote a better story for my life than he's already given me, right? So even at the end of all this, right? Let's say this is it, this is over, it's all said and done. God has written a beautiful story for me, and it would only be over in this instance, right? Not over in anything else. Like, there's still plenty
Right.
of until he takes the breath out of my lungs. He has a plan for me, and that plan is more than good enough for me. That plan will suffice me in my darkest days. So I definitely put all of it in his hands, and build my altar to him.
Okay, I applaud you with the you preaching that with the platform that you have, man. That's awesome. Before we get out of here, Marcus, I want to get a couple of title picks from you. We have the big UFC 296 card around the corner, the 170 belts on the line, and the flyweights are battling for the title as well. Who do you see winning between Leon and Colby, and then Pantoja and Royval?
Man, I really think that's a hard fight for Leon. I know Leon's really great, but he's great in space. I don't think Colby Covington's going to give him that space. And Colby doesn't run into a lot of things either. He closes distance very well with his wrestling. So I think that's a fight for Covey Covington. Like, I'm not going to doubt Leon Edwards. Leon Edwards is dangerous in any time to fight. And he proved that in his last two fights. He's dangerous all 5 rounds. I do think when we're talking about styles, I think styles do make fights. Not always, but they do make fights. And I think Covey's going to get that. But I wouldn't be surprised if Leon could keep that distance. But he's really going to have to keep range. I don't think he wants to be in the grappling exchanges with Covey Covington. That's his game, right? And then as far as Brandon Royval and Pantoja, man, I really think Brandon Royval is gonna get that title. I've had a lot of respect for him for a long time. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's a great person. Anytime I've met him, he's always been very, like, I just love his energy about him, and he's a great fighter. I mean, you see
Yeah.
some of the stuff he does, he's very unorthodox but smooth with it. When he got knocked down, then throws that spinning elbow and knocks, I forget who he was fighting, but throws a spinning elbow, knocks him out, and it's like, oh, it was from Australia. What's his name?
Oh yeah. Um, I have to pull it up. I'm blanking right now.
Yeah, I can't think of it either. But he was fighting him. He was supposed to fight Manuel Cape recently. I can't think of his name, but yeah,
Oh,
he's one of the.
it's not Nicolau. Was it Mateos Nicolau? No, Kai Car
No,
France. Kai Car
Kai
France.
Car France. There it is. I can't
Jesus.
believe we both forgot that name right now.
I
I
know,
mean,
right?
another great fighter, right?
Yeah,
Another great
right.
fighter.
Yeah, Kai
Uh,
Car France.
and Pantoja's great too. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm not sleeping on Pantoja, but I just feel like Brandon's gonna be coming in with that energy, and I think he holds a very high pace as well. I think that he's a 5 round type of fighter. I think that in the later rounds, he's gonna shine brighter than he's shined in a lot of fights. So I think it's good that the belt might be changing hands, man.
Okay. I'm actually with you on both picks. I got Colby and I have Royval. So you and me, we're like this here today. Marcus, great talking to you again, my man. I wish you nothing but the best of skill come fight night, January the 13th. Again, UFC Vegas 84, the Maniac Marcus McGhee back at it against Gaston Bolanos. Before we do sign off, man, I want to give you the floor. If there's anyone you want to thank, anything you want to plug, the floor is yours.
Yeah, obviously, I want to thank God first and foremost. He gives me the strength to get up every day and chase this dream, and He's put me in a beautiful position to do so. So always got to praise His name first. Then also, I just want to give thanks to my team, MMA Lab, all my coaches. All my teammates. they've grinded with me through all this time. And, you know, I'm so blessed to have such a strong knit people that aren't just, not just in the fight game, but in the world in general, that are just being strong, good men, not nice men, but good men, right? And me being able to be a part of them, right? And also Riz Pharma has been helping me out a lot. Taking care of things for me, helping me out, and they're another company coming up right now that are really building their brand. So definitely look out for them. Go check them out. Riz Pharma, G4 out here, always been riding with me for a long time as well. Yeah, and then also I got my podcast, which is Punches and Pites, and then my cooking show, Munchies with Marcus. Constantly trying to build content on there, trying to interact with the fans and try to build that. So those are the things I'm kind of working on right now. And yeah, if you guys definitely want to check it out, my Instagram's popping up too. I'm trying to get good content out constantly. So bear with me. I'm trying to be that guy. It's not the easiest, but it's been a lot of fun. And again, I'm so blessed to be in this position. So just trying to take it all in.